Well, a very good morning to you and welcome to Sutton Village Church Online for a second week in a row amidst the coronavirus outbreak. My name's Chris, I'm one of the leaders at Sutton Village Church, and last week we said, well, this virus can shut down the church building, but it can't shut down church. So we're back for week 2 and it's great to have you along. We're going to spend some dedicated time with God over the next half an hour or so, learning from his word and also singing some songs together as well. We've tweaked a few bits from last week to make it slightly easier to follow. We've decided to put all the videos here on YouTube, so you don't have to keep flicking between Facebook and YouTube. You don't have to keep refreshing posts and things like that. So just stay here. Each video will load up one after the other and you'll be able to follow this morning's service. For me, it's great to be out here walking and talking with you this morning. It was great that at least as part of the government's advice this week, we could go out and enjoy at least one period of exercise a day, which is certainly an improvement for me, bearing in mind before this last week, I'd probably be getting one piece of exercise a week if I was lucky, never mind a day. I don't know about you, but I found it really weird this week, being out and about. This whole social distancing thing just isn't natural, is it? Having to be 2 meters apart from each other. You find yourself kind of shielding your eyes from people and not wanting to look at them in the face, which is why I think this opportunity we have online to come together each week is even more important than ever. There's lots of people, particularly non-Christians, but also I'd imagine lots of Christians as well, who are asking questions at the moment about, well, why did God let this kind of thing happen? Why is he brought this upon us? But if we look back in history, there's been plenty of times when humans have had to struggle with various things. Even in my lifetime, we've experienced the dreadful famine in Africa, the AIDS epidemic, there was the persecution of the Jews in the war, and of course the plague back in medieval times. And humans have always come through it. And while it might be difficult to answer that question of why God lets things like this happen, I'm more than certain that God is at the heart of it to make things better, to get us through it and help us to learn from these situations. As humans, we're really adaptable, and I think God is teaching us new things all the time. You only have to look at my little boy Finley this week, who's learnt to hang the washing out. As Christians going through this difficult time, we must be prepared to stand up for God and put faith in him that he will indeed pull us through. If you don't feel you're yet ready to make that commitment to God, maybe something you'll hear or see this morning will persuade you otherwise. A couple of weeks ago, one of the key phrases being bandied around during the early stages of COVID-19 was the phrase super spreader. There were these super spreaders that would infect, unintentionally, many numbers of people. And I suggested at the end of one of our services that we should go out into our community and be super spreaders of our faith. And that's the theme we're going to pick up on this morning. Because this faith virus that we have is worth catching. It's worth spreading. Let's start with a sing-song though. The next video will appear automatically in this YouTube playlist.